Everything began with Goku's return to Earth after the events of his training on Yardrat. A strange portal appeared on the route of his spaceship, dragging him inside before he could figure out how to steer the Saiyan ship away. That caused him to experience a very strange and uncomfortable journey through a dimensional tunnel, which he eventually managed to escape. His ship ended up crashing on the shores of a city, and Goku quickly came out to check where he had landed. At first, Goku felt disoriented by what had happened, but he calmed down when he saw that he was still on Earth. Or at least that was what he initially believed. However, he soon realized that the environment felt different, and that nearby places looked nothing like anything he knew. Why does everything look so different? While Goku wondered about that, he decided to fly over the cities to see if he could recognize any of them, but all the buildings he came across seemed unusual. On top of that, he couldn't sense the energy of any of his friends, which was definitely not normal. That led him to conclude that he wasn't in his home after all, but rather in a different place. Of course, his arrival did not go unnoticed, as Cecil's team had received information about a man flying through the skies, one they had no prior record of. This raised a lot of questions for all those who knew of the situation, especially since they had recently gone through Omni Man's betrayal and massacre. So they had no idea if this stranger might be a threat or a potential ally. They clearly couldn't afford to ignore it, so Cecil decided to test Goku by sending one of his strongest heroes to intercept him, none other than the Immortal himself. Because of that, Goku quickly noticed a strange presence heading his way, different from the ordinary people in the cities. That's when the Immortal arrived where Goku was, staring at him intently, making sure he didn't make any suspicious moves. "You don't seem to be from around here, so I'll ask only once. Who are you? And why are you flying around me since?" Goku looked at the Immortal with a confused expression, not understanding why he was being addressed with such hostility. "Levy, relax. I just showed up here out of nowhere and was trying to figure out where I am." "Are you telling me you're not from Earth?" "Well, technically I'm not from Earth, but I think that's not the only—" Before he could finish talking, the Immortal clenched his fist slightly upon hearing Dothu's admission, as he had bad memories with beings from other planets, especially after what had happened with Omni Man. Without warning, the Immortal lunged toward Goku to attack him, not wanting to risk giving another alien being a chance to strike first. Not again. Goku was startled by the sudden attack, but he didn't hesitate to block it with one hand. The impact caused a slight gust of wind, but the Immortal showed no sign of backing off. "Hey, wait! Why are you attacking me out of nowhere?" "I won't make the same mistake again. If you come from somewhere else, you'd better leave now or I'll put it into you right here." The Immortal was shocked by Goku's strength since Goku had so effortlessly stopped his punch. But that only gave him more reason to see Goku as dangerous. The Immortal kept attacking Goku in midair with all his might, determined to land a hit. Goku didn't really understand why he was being attacked, so he merely avoided the blows. Meanwhile, Cecil's team was watching the encounter. Setting aside the fact that the Immortal had recklessly initiated combat, Cecil focused on the fact that Goku appeared to be stronger than even the Immortal. That gave Cecil no peace of mind, so he quickly considered sending reinforcements in case the situation got out of hand. "We don't have a choice. Contact Invincible so we can head there as well." Meanwhile, the mid-air fight continued, with the Immortal still upset by Goku's presence and by the fact that he couldn't raid a single blow despite using all his strength. Eventually, Goku decided to grab the Immortal's arms to stop him and hoped that he could talk things out. The Immortal was stunned by Goku's tremendous strength because once he was pinned, he couldn't move at all. "Look, I don't want to fight you. I'm just lost and looking for answers. Can we talk this out like civilized people?" Goku let go of the Immortal's arms to show that his intentions were genuine. The Immortal, frustrated by Goku's apparent indifference to his attacks, backed up a few meters in the air, staring at him, trying to see if there was any hint of evil intentions. All we could see in Goku was calmness, even curiosity. "What kind of being are you? You're not like the Viltrumites, but the strength is ridiculous. Where exactly do you come from?" Goku smiled slightly, crossing his arms. "I'm Goku, a Saiyan raised on Earth, and believe me when I say I mean no harm. I came here by accident, but it looks like this place is very different from mine." During their brief exchange, Goku sensed the stronger energy approaching, apparently surpassing the Immortal's power. That energy belonged to none other than Invincible, who had answered Cecil's call right away. though who was surprised to see someone else who could fly. Apparently that was something common in this place. "Tell me, Immortal, how are things going? Is he dangerous?" "Well, after attacking him, he doesn't seem to have bad intentions, but he's still someone from another race." Hearing that, Invincible decided to ask Goku a crucial question, in order to gauge whether he could be trusted. "In that case, answer this. Have you heard of the Viltrumites?" Goku looked puzzled by Invincible's question, since the term Viltrumites didn't ring a bell at all. In fact, it sounded somewhat strange to him. "Honestly, no. Is that some kind of local dish or something?" Invincible and the Immortal were a bit taken aback by his answer. It was as though Goku wasn't taking the question seriously, yet despite that, it seemed sincere. But before they could say anything else, a pair of drones from Cecil's team arrived on the scene, projecting a holographic image of the leader of the Global Defense Agency. "Hold it right there. I'm Cecil Stedman. We've been monitoring everything that's going on, and so far you don't appear to be an immediate threat, but I need clear answers. How did you get here, Goku? And why is your power so outrageous?" Goku scratched his head, laughing softly. "I'm not really sure. I was on my way back home with my friends when this sort of portal opened from out of nowhere. The next thing I knew, I was here. And about my power, well, I guess I just train a lot. Ever since I can remember, I've dedicated myself to that." Goku spoke humbly, though with a subtle hint of pride. Cecil glanced over at the Immortal and Invincible, who nodded slightly to indicate that though he had met with resistance, Goku showed no hostile intent and didn't seem to know anything about Viltrum. "All right. For now, we'll invite you to our facilities for an evaluation. I don't want any more incidents in the cities. Invincible, Immortal, take care of what's escorting him." "Sure, that's fine by me." Always ready to cooperate, Goku nodded cheerfully. "Sure, I don't mind. Besides, maybe you can help me get back to my world. If everything goes smoothly, we can try." With that final exchange, they all flew toward the facilities so that Goku could settle in and talk directly with Cecil's team. As they flew to the base, the Immortal couldn't help keeping his guard up. Even though Goku seemed harmless, his enormous power reminded the Immortal too much of Omni Man, which made him uneasy after everything that had happened to the Guardians of the Globe. Goku, on the other hand, tried to break the ice during the flight, feeling curious about the people of this world. He wondered if everyone here possessed powers like that. "Honestly, you're really strong. You remind me of someone I know. Do you also train a lot?" Still cautious, the Immortal answered. "I've lived a long time and faced many threats. Training is part of the job. But you're different. You seem to hold more power than you show. Why didn't you fight seriously?" "I didn't have a reason to fight you. Plus, I will use my full power unless it's really necessary. But if you ever want a friendly match, I'd love it." The Immortal wasn't sure how to respond to Goku's laid-back attitude. On one hand, it irritated him that someone could be so powerful and relaxed at the same time. Yet there was something genuine and open about him that couldn't be ignored. The same was true for Invincible, except that despite his doubts, he found it encouraging to think that maybe this time they could count on an ally and avoid repeating what happened with his father. "Anyway, welcome to the land of heroes." Goku grinned at Invincible's welcome, showing his appreciation. Upon arriving at the agency's facilities, Goku was greeted by the scrutinizing gazes of scientists and the rest of the team. Goku felt a bit uncomfortable with everyone staring at him and getting too close, but he ended up allowing them to examine him, hoping that Cecil's team would help him return to his world. Meanwhile, Cecil watched closely from the control room as they ran tests on Goku with various devices, confirming that Goku was indeed more powerful than he let on, though it was still unclear whether that was good or bad. "All right, Goku, if you want our help getting back to your world, we need to know more about you. We recently went through something very serious, and we need to be sure. First of all, exactly how strong are you? What are your abilities? And most importantly, what will you do if we can't send you back?" With his usual carefree attitude, Goku answered his questions. "Oh, I'm pretty strong. I can manipulate my own energy for all sorts of techniques, and I'm an expert in martial arts. But don't worry, I'm not here to make trouble. And if you can't send me back, then, well, I guess I'll find something fun to do here while I figure out how to return." Cecil's team exchanged glances, some of them confused and others nervous. But Cecil had one thought in mind: If this man was as powerful as he seemed, they might meet him in the future, especially given the threats that were getting worse every day. At that moment, Invincible came by to observe Goku's evaluation, but also to talk with Cecil about what he was thinking.